On this episode of Road Trip Masters, I cruise into a town where 3 U.S. states meet and travel back in time to taste some sweet treats. We'll fire up the kitchen for a vegan delight.
I'm so excited that
Take a hike on the AT.
we hit dirt. Yep.
And visit a wax museum that tells a story around every corner.
Some of the wax figures, there's actual human hair.
So sit back, relax, and let me do the driving right here on Road Trip Masters. I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer.
We're teachers that have a passion for travel.
Cruising the highways and byways in our 1968 drop-top caddy.
We discover the places and people that make this nation great. We are Road Trip Masters. On this week's episode, I cruise into Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Settled in 1734 by Robert Harper, this town is located at the confluence of the Shenandoah and Potomac rivers, nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains. In October of 1859, Harpers Ferry drew national attention when abolitionist John Brown led a raid on the U.S. arsenal in an attempt to seize its weapons in support of his cause. Today, this tiny town has a populace of just fewer than 300 residents and offers its visitors unique shops, incredible eateries, and quaint streets that offer up a peaceful tranquility. Located at the north end of the Shenandoah Valley lies a hotel and conference center that boasts over 100 spacious rooms, an on-site bar and restaurant, and is only 1 mile from the Harpers Ferry National Historical Park.
Clarion, Harpers Ferry. Nelvy, tell us a little bit about it.
So we are a premium lodging location for visitors who are visiting the Harpers Ferry National Historical Park, which brings about 1.5 million visitors a year.
What do you got? What type of rooms do you have?
So we have a lot of suites. We like to accommodate big families that are coming to visit. You do hiking, kayaking. So we have guests walking from the Appalachian Trail from Maine to Georgia who like to stop on their Journey Design, the register of the Appalachian Trail headquarters, which is located on Washington Street.
Now, we're sitting here right at the White Horse Tavern. So do I got to go over to Dayton for the White Horse Tavern?
Yeah.
Am I switching gears here? I got two of you. I'm sandwiched in between.
White Horse Tavern is just a fantastic American bar location. Our kind of motto is beers, bourbons, and burgers. Burgers are definitely our specialty around here. We have handcrafted half-pound burgers that are to die for. We have crab cakes that are phenomenal. We're not too far from the Maryland shore.
Tell me about the boozy smoothie. Is it? Do I have it right? Or?
It's the boozy milkshake. And so we have several options. We like to get creative. Can't go wrong with like our Bailey's chocolate chip is just phenomenal, local favorite. We also have, a peanut butter liqueur milkshake, which is phenomenal.
Milkshakes for adults.
Actually, we purposely don't put cherries on them to make sure. These are definitely adult milkshakes.
Nelvy, Dayton, excellent, beautiful place, cozy by the fire. I think I'm gonna go inside, get a drink.
Cheers, I'll join you.
For such a small town, Harpers Ferry has a plethora of restaurants to choose from, with each of them having their own uniqueness and charm. But I came across a place that can lay claim of being the very first vegan restaurant in the state of West Virginia, and the very first vegan restaurant to be featured on this show, Kelly Farm Kitchen.
Now, this is a unique type of eatery because we don't use any meat products.
Nothing at all. We are strictly 100% organic and vegan.
I know we're gonna do a Philly cheesesteak, a cheesesteak flavor, but no meat.
None at all.
I'm kind of curious on this whole process, so let's dig in, let's get started.
You'll love it. First step, we need to oil our griddle.
Now, that's butter or oil?
This is our butter. This is our earth balance. Now we have two sides here. This side, no gluten. Okay, all of our gluten products go on this side.
So you split the grills.
Yes. Now I like to start with my peppers. This is my own special blend.
You got your red bell peppers in there, your
Yeah.
yellows, your greens.
I like to put my own southern charm on things. A little pepper here.
All right, straightforward pepper.
And I like to use the white onion. I use mushrooms. You want to build a nice hearty sandwich. That's the one key. Now this is our Philly mixture.
Now that looks just like steak right there. Tell me, what is that?
This right here is Vital Wheat Gluten Soy Protein.
Vital wheat gluten soy protein.
Yes.
All right.
We season our Philly mixture as well. You want to add lots of flavor. You see how it's looking?
Oh, yeah, I do. And it smells incredible.
Exactly.
Let's let it do its thing. All right, I'm gonna switch again. It's almost like we're dancing back here. You're almost getting that meat smell. But again, I'm still stunned. It's not meat.
Yeah, it smells real good, don't it? Let me get over here,
Jared,
please.
we'll dance again. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, we have here.
All right, back over here now.
Now.
We dancing again?
Yep, we're
All
dancing.
right.
We do a lot of dancing in this kitchen.
Next, the veggies and protein came off the grill and were mixed into a bowl for a taste bud medley of madness.
Look at that bread machine back there, or whatever it is. It sounds like a
That's
furnace.
the oven. Yes, it's very loud.
Sounds like a jet engine starting up.
After we cooled our jets a bit, the mixture went back onto the grill and topped with melted Gouda cheese, jalapeno relish, then put on a bread roll garnered with vegan mayo, tomatoes, and lettuce. This vegan delight was looking vivacious, and I couldn't wait to dive in.
My first sampling of the Philly cheesesteak, vegan style. Look at that puppy right there. Here we go. Oh, man, absolutely incredible. I can't even tell the difference. Tastes like an actual Philly cheesesteak. Chef knocked it right out of the park. When in Harper's Ferry, Kelly Farm Kitchen is a must-stop. I hear it's starting up again. The turbojet engine. I've never heard something like that.
It's not every day where one can step back in time and experience history. But if you stay long enough in Harper's Ferry, then the possibility of time travel suddenly becomes a reality.
This candy store is unique.
We are unique because we are the only research-based historic candy company in the country. What we do is we research the role. Then what we do is we see what's out there. If we can get it from the original place, we do.
So here at True Treats, you investigate the past. Do you try to replicate the candy as it existed throughout history?
So we try to get as close, if not exactly, on the taste, the flavor, the texture, but mostly on the labels of most of our candies, we have the story. People eat it and, oh my gosh, I remember this.
Butterscotch candy, root beer barrels.
Yes.
I talked to my one camera guy and he said that that's for old people.
Yeah, that is for old people. That's why we live so damn long.
Top 5 candies, what are they?
Top 5. Turkish Delight, #1 by far. People come here just for that. Necco wafers. Circus peanuts, another controversial one. Then we have chocolate in general, like truffles. And then last but not least, candy bars.
Who is the biggest consumer of the candy bar?
Men.
Really?
Absolutely. We've done surveys online with our own Facebook friends. They go crazy for candy bars.
We gotta get hands-on and make some of this historic candy. Can we do that?
I think we can do that.
So I was off to the True Treats Test Kitchen, an off-site facility where all the historic recipes become a reality. And to be quite honest, it was almost like I was transported back in time to my grandmother's house.
All right, Beth, what is our first step? What do we need to do?
We're going to go ahead and make a strawberry gumdrop. And the first thing I need to do is soften the gelatin. 1/2 cup of cold water, 2 tablespoons of gelatin, and that's just about the right amount we need. But what we have to do first is make the syrup. I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar. Ooh, yeah. 5 minutes to stir this till it is completely dissolved.
It's almost like we're making a simple syrup for like an
There
alcoholic
you
beverage.
go. Why not? I am now going to combine the syrup with the gelatin.
How long are you gonna stir this for?
15 minutes, and I stand here and I faithfully stir it 15 minutes.
As Beth is preparing the loaf pan, I have taken over the stirring duties.
Well, how about if I take over for you and, oh, well, you know what?
Say that, you don't want to do it, coming up with constant
Well, I
work
will,
excuses.
but one of the things that helps release the gelatin from the pan is spraying it with a little bit of
Like
oil.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't have that back in the 1800s.
No,
to
they
spray.
didn't.
All right, Beth, looks like 15 minutes. And what's the next step?
We're going to color it.
All right.
So we're using a strawberry flavoring, so I thought I'd go ahead and use pink.
Yeah.
Or we could really mess with people's head and make it green.
And then have it a strawberry.
I'm just going to put quite a bit in here. I'm going to have it nice and pink. This is strawberry extract. I think we're ready to transfer this into the pans.
All right, there it goes.
Yes, indeedy. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the refrigerator.
And how long will it stay in the fridge?
24 hours.
All right, Beth, here we are. I love the table setting. I got the strawberry, and it's been 24 hours later. Isn't that
sure.
something?
Go ahead and put it right on the table.
All right, I go here. It's a nice gelatin mass.
So I'm a little persnickety. So I like my edges sharp. So if you want to just clean up that edge to get a nice sharp edge.
All right, I shall.
I'll go ahead and keep working on the lemon while you work on the strawberry. Then we're going to shake it in the sugar bath. If you want to give those a shake.
Yeah, shake, shimmy. So now you're just getting that sugar all the way around.
Sure.
They look beautiful.
Ooh. It's going to sit out for 2 days and you can serve it.
There it is.
You like? I think I'm going to try that.
Yeah,
as
all
well.
right. Oh my God, they're addicting. It's amazing. Again, Beth, the simplicity, straightforward.
Isn't it great?
It's phenomenal. It almost tastes a lot lighter in consistency than like a factory gumdrop. It tastes homemade.
And it looks homemade,
And
and
it
that's
looks
what I
homemade.
think the charm is.
It almost does feel like I'm back in time, especially with this candy dish. I absolutely adore this thing.
That was my grandmother's.
Really? Wow. And it fits the roll.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's perfect.
So Nick, that's our gumdrop.
Beth, thank you so much. It was nice to get back here in the True Treats Candy Test Kitchen. It was nice to come up with the gumdrop, see how it was made with all the love and care and all the hand preparation like we're doing right now. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So, Marianne, based on all your research,
You have to wait.
Wax museums have always been a favorite of mine since I was a child. The haunting stares, the realistic skin tones, and that chilling feeling that the figures will come alive and reach out and touch you. So it was only instinctive that I pay a visit to the John Brown Wax Museum, a place that geographically tells the story of the militant abolitionist John Brown and his raid on the arsenal in Harper's Ferry.
so now, Vince, when you're walking through the hallways and staircases, and there's a lot of them, do you ever get the sense that they're looking at you, or do you get a creepy, eerie feeling?
Very weird. For some of them, they actually used actual hair. The teeth were used with actual, like, dentist teeth that you would use to replace them, and even glass eyes, and which is why they're really realistic. Lots of lifelike. There are around 87 wax figurines in the whole entire museum.
2, 3 stories, basement, what?
I get confused of how many stories there are because it first goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up again.
Does it tell the John Brown history in chronological order?
Yes, it does. Straight from when he was a child to when he died.
Vince, I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's go up and down these flights of stairs and explore the museum.
As the tour continued, I quickly understood what Vince was talking about earlier, how one can easily get confused traversing the various levels of this museum. But it's this very fact that gives this place its own special aura and adds to the suspense when exploring its hallways.
So Vince, here we are, our first exhibit. This is the first person where we can see those actual dental cosmetic teeth, correct?
Very realistic, sometimes too realistic, but a good kind.
Now, this is our Massacre in Kansas exhibit. What can you tell me about it?
Well,
Hold on, Vince. We have the button.
John Brown's violent anti-slavery actions did not start with his raid on Harper's Ferry. 3 years before the Harper's
Another exhibit, John Brown's preparing for his raid on a U.S. arsenal, but there's a special figure in here with a special story. What is it?
well, that wax figure with the special story is the one in the back in the corner, and he's also the only wax figure smiling, and that one is Earl Dorfman, who's the same person who made these wax figures.
I guess in TV and film, we would call that an Easter egg.
Yes, he made a wax Easter egg of himself in this exhibit.
Here we come to the final ending almost of the museum.
Yes.
We got John Brown. He's in the fort. The Marines break in. Who does John Brown have in his arms?
That'd be his son, Oliver Brown. He's dying.
If you look at some of these expressions on the wax figures, they're really intense. And one thing I didn't know, I guess he took a saber right to the head.
Yes, he did.
Well, Vince, I guess it's off to the final exhibit, the most intense exhibit at this museum. The hanging of John Brown. Where did it take place?
It took place in Charlestown.
If you look at it, he's taking his trip up to the gallows, but what's really weird is he can see his casket. They're loading it into the wagon.
Yes, they are.
So as your exhibit goes, he was waiting in serenity for his drop into eternity. Vince, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You've been a great guide throughout this whole expedition, I'm gonna call it, the exploration of John Brown. Where do I exit out?
Well, if you just come right this way.
Vince, until next time.
Until next time. Have a safe trip.
Thanks, buddy.
The John Brown Wax Museum was awe-inspiring and sparked a curiosity inside of me to find out more. So I decided it was best to meet up with a historian and a man whose expertise is second to none.
Dennis, one cannot come into Harper's Ferry without talking about John Brown. The fort, the arsenal. What is this building in relation to John Brown?
Well, this is the most famous building in Harper's Ferry. It's one of the most famous buildings in the United States. There's a fire engine house. I mean, it literally was here to help prevent fires in the U.S. government property here, the Armory, where we're manufacturing weapons, rifles and muskets and bayonets.
John Brown's mission was what?
The absolute eradication of slavery. Brown considered slavery a sin on humanity. He considered it a stain on the Declaration of Independence and the freedom that Americans espoused. And Brown was so offended by this idea that he believed that God himself had chosen him as an instrument to destroy slavery in the United States. And he was going to commence that war here at Harper's Ferry. To make all that happen, he had to start here and get these weapons. Ultimately, Brown becomes trapped. He becomes surrounded in this building, his headquarters, and United States Marines are called in from Washington who deliver the final blow and make the final assault on the building where Brown will be captured. On the day of his execution, he scrawled out a note, stuffed it in his pocket, and this is what it said. I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away but with blood.
He predicts the Civil War 2 years before it starts.
Frederick Douglass would claim that Brown, more than any other individual, brought slavery to an end. Many people say that Brown is dead, but he did not die.
Dennis, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Your knowledge on John Brown is second to none, and we're so honored to have you here on the show and get the accurate story of what happened here in Harper's Ferry.
I invite all your viewers to come here. This place changed all of us.
So, Dennis,
We got a crow.
Cue the
Hello
crow.
there. How you doing, crow? I want to be on camera, too.
It's appropriate.
Before departing Harper's Ferry, it was mandatory that I got in some hiking time. After all, Harper's Ferry is considered to be the halfway point on the Appalachian Trail, and that's when I met up with an AT legend, Gary, who not only completed the 2,200-mile trek, but was 70 years old when he did it.
So we're at the start, well, not really the start, but we connected with the Appalachian Trail.
Yes.
So when you think Harper's Ferry, from what I was told, it's almost the halfway point of the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, almost is the word.
Okay.
It's actually 100 and some miles north of us yet in Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But this is very close to it, and people, hikers, this is like a place that almost all of them want to stop at.
So I guess somebody once told me that this is the psychological halfway point.
Yes. There's only one issue in Harper's Ferry, is there's no place for them to tent.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have a campground.
Oh.
Yeah, but they figure something out.
Well, I guess we're on our way to Jefferson Rock. Which way do we go here, Gary?
We're gonna go that way.
All right, let's go ahead. After you, my friend. All right, Gary, here we are. Jefferson Rock in the background.
Yep.
But why do they call it that?
Thomas Jefferson was here, and he made the famous thought that it was worth a trip across the Atlantic. Take a look at that. Well, it's nice. That would be a pretty big trip for that.
Yeah, we see the rocks reinforced up there. I guess it used to teeter-totter back and forth at one particular point.
Apparently.
Nobody's allowed on top, are they?
No. It's dangerous.
Absolutely stunning views. I think we have the Shenandoah River there, right?
It is.
And it just comes right down there at the confluence of the Potomac?
Yep, and then it cuts through the Appalachian Mountains on its way down to Georgetown.
Where are we off to next?
Well, we just keep walking a short distance here, and we'll be in the old historic village of Harper's Ferry.
And off we went. And just like Gary said, the Appalachian Trail brought us right back into town. quite literally.
So Gary, here, and I can't say at the end of the Appalachian Trail because it continues, right?
Oh, it does.
Right through town.
You just follow those white blazes. Then you cross the river, and you are in Maryland, and just continuing on your way to Katahdin.
Before we wrapped up our hike, Gary and I had one more stop to make, which tells of Harper's Ferry's harsh history of being a town set between two rivers.
Oh, Gary, you got me down to the flood grounds.
So the Civil War wasn't the knockout punch yet. It was the floods that really knocked this town out.
That has to be at least 20 feet.
Those peaceful rivers that you can float down on become raging death and destruction.
Unbelievable. Gary, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Dedication to this area is unprecedented.
Well, thank you.
I have to be honest, when hiking on the AT with Gary, it was not only relaxing, but breathtaking as well, and definitely a must-do when visiting this town. Harper's Ferry was a true pleasure, and the people that reside here make you feel right at home. So buckle up and grab the wheel and get lost in an area worth discovering. Until next time, I'm Nick Kessler. Stay curious, my friends. Safe travels.